Hello and welcome live from the Hungary for round number 5 of the NXTGP Porsche Supercup. Yes, indeed, it's round 5. It says round 4, but it has to be round 5 because it's almost time. No, or is it actually round 4? Sorry about that. That's a good thing. It's round 5, of course, of the penultimate round here at NXTGP for the Porsche Supercup. Sorry for that little typo there. Now it has been corrected. It's also an excited and wet race, full with exciting overtakes, and luckily no 1.5 hours of waiting in the rain, as we saw in Formula 1. Luckily, here at NXTGP, we don't do waiting. We only want to see beautiful races with beautiful cars on track, and of course beautiful sounds that these Porsches make. Last week, of course, I have to thank Alex and Oliver for the stream, because I had something that I've never, ever had in my whole entire broadcasting and commentary career. I had last week a power outage here at my village where I live. So yeah, I had to wait for the power, and the power went on around 10 PM Dutch time. So unfortunately, I could not make it there. But thank you again to Alex and Oliver for making the stream, and of course giving us the beautiful images that we had at Spa-Francorchamps. Also, something else, a different voice. Yeah, normally you only hear me or in the Dutch commentary, or you see the broadcasting images, because I'm doing the camera work most of the time. But unfortunately, Daan van Zwiffen could not make it today. But don't worry, he'll be back at Zandvoort at the season finale. But that's all the way back at the end of August. So, let's see. And let's also see how it looks at the championship, because it's something that we can discuss actually now. Here we have the Porsche Supercup Pro Championship, and we see Alex O'Grady in first position right now with a total of 343 points. Then it's Levi van Straten in second position with 316 points. And behind him it's Cassidy with a total of 314 points. That's how close it is. Then we have a little gap towards Ewout van Kruijsen with 284 points. And ook, of course, Van der Zand with 279 points. That's the top 5 at least at the Pro Championship. If we switch over to the Pro AM Championship, we see that it's Grob on first position with 326 points. And we have Vastenhout on the second position with 390 points. And P3 in the championship is for Veldhoen with 313 points. So that's how it is in the championship for our top 3 drivers in the Pro AM. Let's see what's going to happen, of course, in the qualifying. Qualifying that's going to start in just a couple of minutes. And here we see all the drivers that are ready to go, with maybe some new names, because it's not Juri Verswijven who's driving, it's his girlfriend, Bente Boeren, who will be driving right now. She's on 15th position. Again, we can see who's in the Pro Championship, we can see who's in the AM Championship. And luckily we see Alex O'Grady back on track. And let's see what he can do in the qualifying, because right now, as we saw earlier on, and also this whole season, it's quite dominating actually from Alex O'Grady. Let's see what's going to happen at the Hungary. Which also means it's time to go for qualifying just in a couple of seconds. We'll be switching to the qualifying session. There it is, the finish flag is out. That means we're going to get ready for the qualifying. Let's see who's going to get the top position here at the Hungary. As server will be set to the qualifying. And let's see what's going to happen. According to my calculations, we'll have 17 cars on the grid. Of course, we are in the middle of summer break, so the field will be a little bit less than you might be expecting. But in Zandvoort, I know there's going to be a lot more drivers who's coming back from their holiday. Let's see what's going to happen as we're going to get focused now on the first cars that are getting out. And look at this, it's Ryan Cassidy. Let's see what he can do. Everybody now on their out lap. We see on the screen, no time, of course, everybody, as I said, in their outlet. Let's see what's going to happen now. Yes, we are on board now with Ryan Cassidy. course, the Hungary, a completely different track as Spa-Francorchamps, where Spa is, of course, much more straight out, high-speed corners. This is more medium to low-speed corners. So the downforce levels, of course, have to be a little bit more up. But that's the other thing. These cars, it's of course a fixed setup, which means nobody can change the car setups. Nobody can change the wings. And that's going to be something different, because in Spa-Francorchamps you might have some more downforce than you might want. Here it's something different. Here it's more like, alright, yeah, now we have some downforce. Now I can play a little bit with the car. I can toy with it. And let's see what's going to happen in the qualification. First drivers are now arriving at the last corner, ready to start their lap. One driver who's still not out on track, that's Alex O'Grady. But we know already from him that he likes to do it single lead, not having any traffic in front of him. And let's see how it goes. Let's stay with Ryan Cassidy as he's making his way to the first corner. A corner where you have to brake very hard. There are multiple lines that we're going to see in the race. In the qualifying, it's just one line. Go on the inside, hug the corner of the curbstones. Watch out. Oh, that's someone who's spinning actually. And that's, I think it's August NM who spun. Yes, indeed. That was August NM. He can try it again. Of course, the qualification is 20 minutes long. So if you make a mistake, it's not a big problem. You can go back on track and try it again for your lap. That's Ryan Cassidy, who goes very, very wide there. I think that was maybe a little bit too much wide, and he might have cut the track there. No, it's actually still a purple sector in the first sector, but we know when we see the cut track when they don't set any lap time. Jury Verswijveren and Thomas Bakker both say good luck, Bente. Yeah, absolutely. Bente Boer taking the spot of nobody else than Jury Verswijveren. Verswijveren not behind the wheel now. There's Lee van Straten already sets the second lap time. That's purple. Of course, nobody sets a lap time yet. That means everybody will stay purple or green. That's Lee van Straten actually, who's got the purple. Let's see what Lee van Straten can do. Here is Van Straten into the last corner, getting out of the corner on the finish. Let's see what Van Straten can do. He is opening his first lap time, and Van Straten does it in a 1:47.708. Will Ryan Cassidy go faster? No, it's not. And there we have it. There we have the confirmation. No lap time, which means he did cut the track. It's Gus Heinen now in the second position with a 1:49.757. As the second position has been taken over by Christian Vandenburg and Ewout van Kruijsen now in P2. And here we have Alex O'Grady. Alex O'Grady who's now starting the lap time. Let's go on board with Alex O'Grady. Let's see what he can do. As also Takens is now purple in sector 1 and purple in sector 2. So let's see what Milan Takens can do. Ooh, he's lost a lot of lap time actually. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2, but yellow in sector 3, or green for him, but lost a lot of time actually in sector 3 for him. Right now, as it stands, it's a 1:54.3. Yeah, and he has to improve. We know he can improve on that lap time. Only one driver still in the pit lane. That's Bente Boer, who might have actually had an issue there. Don't see anything in my timing, so maybe just going in to try it again. Maybe flat spot on tires, who knows? As we're back with Alex O'Grady, right now our championship leader in the Pro division. As we have Bram Veldhoen right now in P5 in the AM division, the Pro AM division. It's a good time for Veldhoen actually. Quicker than Takens, quicker than Kerkman. Multiple drivers are now actually going to the pit lane. Same goes for Ryan Cassidy. Same goes also for Jamie Tekula, and that's Gus Heinen now in second position. And Christian Vandenburg now in second position. But we see it here, purple sector 1 for O'Grady, purple sector 2 for O'Grady. What lap time? Oh, was that a little bit too wide? The answer is going to be yes or no. It's going to be no. It's a 1:46.737. More than 7/10 of a second quicker than Levi van Straten. Which means that Levi van Straten now has to go quicker. Roel van der Zand in P3 now. Great job from Van der Zand. And as you look at the Pro-Am, it's Eduard Grop now in 8th positions overall. In first position, but it's Jens Gebuijs now in 8th. Which means that he is now the quickest AM driver. Couple of drivers who did not set the lap time as of yet. It's Angus NM. It's Maciej Krolikowski, Jamie Tegula, Ben de Boer and Ryan Cassidy who still have to set their lap times. Let's see what Van Straten can do. It's yellow sector 1, it's green in sector 2. What will sector 3 be? Sector 3, last corner. It's quite a difficult corner. You don't want to get too much on that curbstone. You don't want to get wide, because that's where you get the cut tracks from. Let's see, Van Straten, he does improve just by a 1/10 of a second. Let's see who else is going to improve. Here we have Ewout van Kruisen in the purple and gold livery car with the yellow stripes on it. Let's see what he can do. Right now it's a P6 for Van Kruisen. Is there going to be an improvement? The answer is going to be no. Yes, it's a small improvement. 1:48.783. Still managed to get on P number 6. Here we have Angus NM. So don't forget, you see Yuri Verswijveren here and on the screen. But that's not Yuri Verswijveren, that's Ben de Boer. And that is all to do with the entry that is on the car. That's why you see Yuri Verswijveren not in the time sheet, because there's Ben de Boer, but Yuri Verswijveren still under our screen there. Let's go back to Angus NM. Let's see what Angus NM can do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but looks like Angus NM has a Fernando Alonso helmet on it. And his time with Renault. NM, yellow sector 1, green in sector 2. As we are almost at the halfway point of the qualification. Let's see what Angus can do. It's going to be a P1 or is it going to be a P3? It's going to be... Question. It's going to be nothing because he must have cut the track somewhere. And he hit the track limits, which means he has to do it all over again. With tires that already had one qualifying run on them. It means the temperatures are a little bit high as Ewout van Kruisen still P6 in a 1:48.710. And here we have Ben de Boer. Green sector 1, green sector 2. Which is logical, because she did not set a time as of yet. Let's see what she can do. Into the last corner, takes the wide line. Tries to go on the gas as early as possible. Let's see on the start finish for Ben de Boer. And she's going to AP number 12 in the 1:53.377. And Milan Tekens goes second quickest in a 1:46.987 and is a little bit more than 2/10 of a second slower than Alex O'Grady. Ryan Cassidy goes fifth quickest. And let's see what Alex O'Grady can do. It's yellow sector 1, it's yellow sector 2, it's August NM now with the green sector 1 and green sector 2. And also Bram Veldhoen, who's going green in sector 1 and green in sector 2. But first let's see what Alex O'Grady can do. There's still a little gap between him and Milan Tekens. Who's going a little bit wide there for O'Grady. And O'Grady, does he go quicker? He does not go quicker. Let's quickly switch to Argos NM, who's now over the start-finish line. What time will he set? Again, no time. Yes, again, no time. Which means, again, he's fighting not only himself, but he's also fighting the track limits. Here we have Rexy, the green Porsche. Familiar, of course, in the IMSA Championship. Bram Veldhoen was 12 and goes to P12 because also he has to deal with track limits. Let's see what Jamie Takula can do. Takula, not yet a lap time. Might set a lap time now, or will he also have a cut track? No, he does not. A 1:55.41. And he's just a little bit quicker than Bram Veldhoen. As we have here a replay of Cas Heijnen, who went wide over the sausage curb. Luckily for him, no big damage, and he can continue his qualification. As we have Eduard Grob, let's see what he can do. Eduard Grob, right now on P11, can he improve? Can he get into the top 10? And yes, he does actually. Good job from him. 1:49.906. And Maciej Krolikowski goes 5th quickest. And Marco Kerkman goes 7th quickest. And look at O'Grady. Look at O'Grady. Purple sector 1. Purple sector 2. Is he going to improve? Ooh, goes a little bit wide there. I think he can get away with it. His time was 1:46.7 and it's now 1:46.510. Great job there from Alex O'Grady. Which means that for now, as Argos NM finally sets his lap time and goes 7th quickest, let's see what Milan Tekens can do. Still in his out lap, so let's quickly switch to, where is he? Bram Veldhoen. There he goes into the last corner. On his way to start finish. And he goes. Can he improve on his lap time? Yes, he does. Quite by margin. Good job from him. A 1:48.734 brings him to the 12th position. As Christian van den Burg goes 6th quickest. And Leven Straten does improve on his time, but not on his position. Here we have Milan Tekens, who goes out of his way for the 979. That's of Eduard Grob. Also Krolikowski in improving his lap times. There he is. Krolikowski maybe can get a little bit of a slipstream out of his teammate as we are at the halfway point, or over the halfway point actually, of this qualifying. Hit the 14th minute now of 20 minutes in total. Maciej Krolikowski, can he improve on his lap time? He was 5th quickest, and is he going to improve? Question mark. Yes, he does improve, but not in position, as Marco Kerkman goes 6th fastest. And Alex O'Grady, actually, I think he had a cut track because we saw the red lines at this P1. New Boldov now going 15th quickest with a 1:51.83. As we see all yellow lap times, or second times I must say, at the other side of our screen. Ewa van Kruisen, green in sector 2. Here we have him on the screen again. Also Ben de Boer right now with green in sector 1. Let's see what Ewa van Kruisen can do now. Can he get back into that top 10? That's the big question that he has. It is a yellow in sector 3. But it doesn't have to say anything about his lap times, because there it is. Indeed, it is within the top 10 now. A 1:48.318. And let's see what Ben de Boer can do now. Green in sector 1. Green in sector 2. She is improving as of now. Going to the last corner. Taking the wide line. Getting on the inside curb. And putting the car wide on the exit. And Ben de Boer is going to improve. It's a 1:52.324 right now from Ben de Boer. Are there more improvements? Yes, it is. It's Ryan Cassidy who's improving. Green in Sector 1 and green in Sector 2. Let's see what Ryan Cassidy can do. On to the start-finish straight. Maybe having a little bit of a slipstream of Marco Kerkman. Ryan Cassidy, it was P9, but it stays P9 because he does have a track limit. As Alex O'Grady sets purple in Sector 2. Can he improve then? Oh, he goes way too wide. That was definitely way too wide. Let's see if he does set a lap time. No, he does not. Indeed, that was way too wide of Alex O'Grady. As Agnes NM sets 9th fastest now in a 1:48.422. Let's see what Levi van Straten can do. Here we have Van Straten. It's yellow in Sector 1. It's yellow in Sector 2. No improvement as of yet from Levi van Straten. Let's go on board with Van Straten. Let's see what he can do in the last couple of corners. Of course, the time is ticking away. Less than 3 minutes remaining in this qualifying, which we can say it's quite exciting to see. Still Alex O'Grady in P1. Milan Tekens second. Gap just under half a second. And Levi van Straten here in 0.8 seconds. And let's go into the first corner with Levi van Straten. On the inside of the curbstone, then goes the car wide. Watch out, because that is actually the first place where you can get a track limit. Tricky corner here. Have to watch out the race that there is no car on the inside, or else you're going to have what Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen had a couple of years ago. With the international sign language of friendship. Without your right hand, it's of course the third finger. If you put it down from left or right. Let's see what Levi van Straten can do in the first sector. Looks quite okay actually. Alex O'Grady, purple Sector 2, purple Sector 3, and is improving. Yes, he is improving. It's quite a good time actually from him. A 1:46.273. And now we also see Levi van Straten in the timing sheet. It's green in Sector 2, at least for Levi van Straten. Can he get maybe the second position back from Milan Tekens? Tekens, who is in the pit lane, and with 1 minute to go, will not go out. Tekens, who said to himself, that's enough, that's the most I can get out of the car. Levi van Straten into the last sector, into the last corner, I must say. Let's see what he can do. On his way to start finish. That's not a cut track. That looks good. Can he get P2 back from Milan Tekens? No, he cannot. It's a 1:47.290. What we see under the timesheet, there are all green. Well, Marco Kerkman now goes yellow. Bram Veldhoen also green in Sector 1. And same can also be said from Van den Burg. Christian Van den Burg also green. Bram Veldhoen, who has green in Sector 2, and it's Christian Van den Burg yellow in Sector 2. First, let's see what Marco Kerkman, is he going to improve on his time? Can he maybe get Maciej Krolikowski? 0.2 of a second, around 0.2 of a second between them. He can improve, but just slightly, and put his gap between them 1/10 of a second. That means we are over and with the qualification, and that means also we are getting ready, of course, for the race, the grid. And let's see how the grid is going to look here for do. Here we are indeed, everybody on the starting grid. Let's see how the grid looks like. And here we have Alex O'Grady on P1, and the second position is for Milan Tekens. Then we have Levi van Straten on the third position and Roel van der Zand on P4. Then it's Maciej Krolikowski behind him it's Marco Kerkman. Then on the 7th position we have Christian van den Burg and Ewout van Kruijsen on 8th position. Then Angus and M, Ryan Cassidy, Cas Heinen and Brand Velhoen are on the 12th position. And then we have the next on 13, it's Jens Gebuis before Grob. Then it's Holthoff, Terkule and of course Ben de Boer on 17th position. Let's get ready for racing. Just a couple of cars who still have to be on the grid. One of them being Alex O'Grady and Ryan Cassidy is the other driver. They do have some time to do it. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, the reason why I also always go quickly through the starting grid is the fact if everybody is on the grid, that means the race is going to go. And that's not going to be the first time I let myself get fooled by the fact that I'm still calling the grid and we already have the lights going on. It's one driver that we have to wait for. That's Alex O'Grady. There he is on the starting grid with the yellow and black Porsche number 5, which means the lights will go on. There they go, one by one, and when all the lights are on and off, they are on the way for race number 5, race 1, round number 5, I must say. And here we go. It's a great start from Alex O'Grady. It's Milan Teke still in second position, but he has to watch out because Levi Verstraeten is coming there on the inside with number 4. And right now there is no way of overtaking. And everybody is going cleanly through the first corner. Yes, indeed they do. That's good news. Let's see how the third corner is going. Also, multiple lines possible here as we see Marco Kerkman and fighting with Maciej Krolikowski. Krolikowski losing a position on Ryan Cassidy. Already immediately taken back. Oh, that's a hit there in the back, and that's Angus and M. And there are more cars who are going off. That's Christian van den Berg who's going off. Ewald van Kruisen had some issues there as well. It was Ewald van Kruisen, and it was indeed Christian van den Berg. Excuse me, I thought it was Angus and M. That's not the case. Luckily everybody can continue, although with a little bit of on the back foot, let's say. Let's go back to Maciej Krolikowski fighting with Marco Kerkman. Top 3 already saying sayonara to this group. We are on board now with Krolikowski. Let's go for the overtake here. That's going to be wide. Oh, that's going to be brave. That's going to be very brave from Maciej Krolikowski. But he's overshooting the corner, and Marco Kerkman says, "Thank you very much. I'll be taking this position back now." Which means that Marco Kerkman is back on 4th position, and Maciej Krolikowski is driving now again for the 5th position. Getting ready now for the second lap. Let's see what Krolikowski can do. He's making Marco Kerkman actually looking in his mirrors. Going left, going right. And that's an issue for Krolikowski because it's Ryan Cassidy now on the inside. Krolikowski went too wide there. As Krolikowski is going back on the inside, that's possible. As I said before, multiple lines are possible in this corner. Just don't make sure you don't do a Ricciardo and Verstappen. We have some issues. Oh, that's Ben de Boer. Ben de Boer, and I think it was Joep Oldhoff who hit each other. Let's see if we can see that back in the replay. There we see Ben de Boer in the pink car behind her. That's indeed the car of Joep Oldhoff. Oldhoff on the inside. Oh no, it's Boer who spins on her own. And I think, yeah, indeed. Look at that. It's just a small tap there from Joep Oldhoff. Luckily they all can continue in their fight. Here we have the fight between Angus and M and Bram Veldhoen. That's a fight for 10th position, or actually I must say 9th position. Let's see what Veldhoen can do. for the Veldhoen. Oh my goodness me! Almost losing the car there. Majorly oversteering. Not good for lap times. But we do love it for the imagery. In front, it's Gebuis and Cassidy who's fighting with each other. Oh, look at that! Jens Gebuis saying, excuse me, Ryan Cassidy saying, no, I want to stay in front. And Gebuis who's driving the more traditional Porsche livery. Still full on the attack. Now there is some damage to the front actually of the car. But the lucky thing is, of course, we're still driving in the simulator. But if it was in real life, maybe you saw the Porsche Supercup in Spa-Francorchamps in real life. If you get a hit on the front bumper, that's where all the cooling elements are in the car. And that's the problem that you have if you do hit it and if you do damage the cooling, and then your race is over. That's one thing, luckily for all these drivers, that iRacing does not simulate as of yet. Because if you do have that damage on the front, most of the time it's race over. As we see here, Eggers and M. Oh my goodness, what a good attack from Eggers and M. But can Gebuis crawl back on that P9, excuse me, P8? Yes, he can. And look at that, that is Bram Veldhoen. Bram Veldhoen who's going now and beside Eggers and M. Eggers and M says no, thank you very much. And it all goes respectfully. That's also a good thing to see. No bump and run. We are back on board with Bram Veldhoen. Oh, look at that. Is Eggers and M, is he going to do it in turn 1? No, he's not going to do it in turn 1. Has to watch out now if he goes too wide. And oh, it's Jens Gebuis who's going too wide. And Bram Veldhoen, who are now fighting with each other. Let's see what Veldhoen can do. I also see a lot of people going too wide. That's also a thing for later in the race. If you go too wide too many times, you will be given a penalty. So every time you see a red line behind the position the drivers are in, that means they are going too wide and are actually noted as off track. And look at the gravel. Ryan Cassidy now, who goes too wide. Also for Eduard Grob. Veldhoen, lap ago, fighting with Eggers and M. Now has to defend from Jens Gebuis. Gebuis is looking. And also in the back, it's Cas Heinen in his fight with Eduard Grob. And this is an amazing battle, because this is actually the battle for the lead in the Pro AM division. And that's also why I think Bram Veldhoen says to Eggers, alright, you can pass me, fine by me. You do you, I do my fights. Cas Heinen, can he do it now? That's also from the Pro division. So I can imagine that Eduard Grob is going to say, fine, you can overtake. Or not, maybe, or not. As Jamie Tekule is under a threat of Ewout van Kruisen, excuse me, of Christian van den Burg. Tekule has a look. He cannot make it stick as of now. Times of Tekule 1:51.7 and of Christian van den Burg, also a pro driver of course, driving in a 1:49.55. So it's a good thing from Jamie Tekule to say, alright, you can pass me now, fine by me. As Cas Heinen made his pass on Eduard Grob and is now behind the car, the Pro AM car of Jens Gebuis. We are on the copper cam. You can see the gap is closing now between Heinen and Gebuis. I think it's going to be an attack on start-finish line. At the front we still have Alex O'Grady. Quick as he always is, a 1:47.13. Behind the Milan Dekens with a 1:47.42. And here we are going for the attack. The attack between Cas Heinen and Jens Gebuis. Is Heinen going to do it? Is Heinen going to do it on the outside? Yes, he is there next to each other. Oh, they do hit each other and Cas Heinen goes off. That's not the best way to overtake Heinen. You see it again in the replay. Heinen first on the inside, then goes on the outside. And there is just about a small tap on the rear wheel. That's more than enough for Cas Heinen to lose control over his car. And now let's try it again from P15. Eduard Grob and Christian van den Burg. Van den Burg now overtakes there Eduard Grob. Grob still looking at it, yeah. I can't quite imagine that you want to fight with each other, but it's a completely different division there. Grob of course driving for the Pro-Am division and Christian van den Burg in the Pro division. So I think the smartest thing for Grob now to do is to just follow Christian van den Burg as he's going towards the car of Ewout van Kruijsen. Here we are back with the leaders. Alex O'Grady, P1, Milan Dekens, P2, and Levi van Straten on P3 as we have some different fights here left and right between Ewout van Kruijsen and Jens Gebuis. Let's look at the inside. Ewout van Kruijsen, let's look on the inside. Jens Gebuis, does he make it happen? Oh, they almost touched there. Going to have a carbon copy, yeah. I do like some coffee, but carbon copy, I mean, of the attack that unfortunately for Cas Heinen went disastrous. No, we do not. And Ewout van Kruijsen now overtakes Jens Gebuis. Gebuis immediately on the defense of Christian van den Burg. Van den Burg trying on the inside. They do touch ever so slightly. And now it's the inside line of Gebuis. Oh my goodness, that was so close. But all goes well, and that means that Jens Gebuis now falling back to a 12th position, but still P2 in the Pro-Am category. P1 is for Bram Veldhoen. Ryan Cassidy closing in on Roel van der Zand. Here we are on board with Ryan Cassidy. The gap is a little bit too big to actually do an overtake. Lap times do say enough, eh? 1:48.7 for Roel van der Zand, 1:48.2 for Ryan Cassidy, which means he is almost half a second quicker. And it's Roel van der Zand who is going slightly towards the car of Marco Kerkman. Last lap a 1:49 dead, which means, yeah, indeed these two drivers, the cars of Van der Zand and Cassidy, are getting closer and closer. As we do have, I think, a pit stop. No, we do not actually have a pit stop. I thought it was Bente Boer who's going into the pit, but she does not. She's still driving, and of course also learning the car. to the fight between Kerkman, Van der Zandt and Cassidy. Let's go back to the chopper cam. Let's see what Cassidy can do. The gap is too big for an overtaking maneuver here. Actually, it looks more like Roel van der Zandt is going closer and closer towards Marco Kerkman. Here we can see the different lines in the last corner. Let's see what the lap times are going to tell us in words of the pace of these drivers. 1:49.1 for Kerkman, 1:48.9 for Van der Zandt, and also 1:48.9 for Cassidy. Oh, there's a small moment there for Roel van der Zandt. And that's a moment that Cassidy might get on the attack. Gap is still a little bit too big. But Cassidy is closing in on Roel van der Zandt. Look at the steering work there of Ryan Cassidy. And don't worry about the windscreen wipers. That's not because it's raining. It's because there was some dirt on the window. Cassidy now trying to get the better hands over Roel van der Zandt so that he can fight with Marco Kerkman, but they're not there yet. Again, Cassidy, different lines than Van der Zandt. And now he has to have a good exit. The exit was okay, a little bit unbalancing there for the car. Is he going to do it? No, he's only going to make Roel van der Zandt look at his mirrors. Is that going to work? The answer is not as of yet. But we will have a start-finish straight. Early on the throttle for Ryan Cassidy. Into the last corner. Different line than Roel van der Zandt. Trying to get as early as possible on the gas. Not of yet, and we actually see Roel van der Zandt slowly but steady crawling away from the car of Ryan Cassidy. And now it's Roel van der Zandt who's looking to go on the attack. That's not good enough. Gap is a little bit too big still. Yes. Oh, that's Benteboer who spun the car. And does she have damage? Yes, she does have damage on the left side of the car. Here we can see it clearly. Oh, that's big damage actually. Here we see it. It's, yeah, that's too wide, that's too hard, and that's the tires that she hits. We're back with the fight between Ryan Cassidy and Roel van der Zandt. Cassidy ever so slightly touching actually the rear bumper of Roel van der Zandt. And this is the moment where Cassidy maybe can get on the attack. No, that's not good enough. It's still, the gap is still a little bit too big. But Roel van der Zandt with a different line. Cassidy with a little bit of oversteer there. Now on the outside. Is Cassidy going to do it on the outside? No, he's not. Then going back to the car of Roel van der Zandt. We'll see different lines here of Cassidy and Van der Zandt. And this is the moment where Cassidy is waiting for. This is the moment where Cassidy can actually attack. Question is he going to go all risk? He's going on the outside. He's going to brake later. He does brake later, but that's not good enough. Can he do the crisscross now going on the inside? No, there's not enough grip to do that actually. And Ryan Cassidy, first time the attack has been taken away by Roel van der Zandt. As we hear a fight between Cas Heijnen and Jens Gebuijs. A couple of laps ago, that went all wrong for Heinen now on the inside, now going on the outside. Which means he has to take the longer line into the corner. Gebuijs braking later. Heinen still there, but now he has to wait. Maybe with a good exit, is he going to do it? No, it's Gebuijs still full on the block. And I understand that you might want to go for the position, but you are fighting in a different category. If I was Gebuijs, I would just let Cas Heinen go by. And maybe they can fight towards Bram Veldhoen. And we still have the fight between Ryan Cassidy and Roel van der Zand. Ryan Cassidy again, full in the slipstream, but the gap is too big. The gap is way too big to make an attack. Is Cassidy going to do it? No, because then you might have to brake so late that you might hit even Marco Kerkman. A little bit of oversteer there for Cassidy. You really see the issues that is there. Here we have a fight again between Heinen and Eduard Grob. Actually, Eduard Grob now going on the inside. Oh, that was so close. Heinen, can he make it now? Can he make it now? The exit is better of Cas Heinen, and Jens Gebuijs is losing a position, or is Gebuijs going to brake later? I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Oh, he's going to brake later. And they do not touch because it's Cas Heinen who looks in his mirrors and there gets the touch. And now it's Eduard Grob who is laughing there and says, thank you very much. I'm going bye-bye now. As we see the black flag for Jens Gebuijs, which means he has enough and he has to go into the pit lane. And oh, that's another hit and Jens Gebuijs is out. That's enough. That's enough. Which means he gets the black flag and is out of this race. Which means that Heine and Grob now fighting with each other. And for Gebuijs that's a shame because that is actually the third position that he lost now. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first race of the 5th round here at the Hungaroring. We see left and right the battles, in very interesting battles actually. Because look at this, Marco Kerkman, Roel van der Zand, Ryan Cassidy all in the fight. Is Van der Zand going to make a stick now on the inside of turn 1, on the inside of Marco Kerkman? And can Ryan Cassidy go with him? No, he cannot. Actually, he has a little tap there on the back of Roel van der Zand. But Roel van der Zand does make it. And Marco Kerkman now has to watch out for Ryan Cassidy. Cassidy, who actually was in fight with Roel van der Zand for many, many laps. And we see Roel van der Zand now going out as we also have a black flag for Bent de Boer. Which means that Bent de Boer actually went too far, too wide. Which will stand on the drive-through penalty. Here we have Ryan Cassidy. Cassidy is going to take it on the outside. That's very brave. That's very bold to do it here. Fortunately ran out of the road. It's a good thing for our live timing program that it had a great update. So now we can see when drivers have a black flag, because that's a black box behind Bent de Boer, her name. When she went a little bit too far off track, you have the incident points, and if you have too many, you do have to do a drive-through penalty. That's what Bent de Boer is doing now. Let's see what Ryan Cassidy can do. The gap between him and Marco Kerkman is a little bit too big now. Meaning he really can't do the overtake, because then he has to outbrake himself and might even hit Roel van der Zand. great fight nevertheless. 1 more minute to go for Alex O'Grady before the finish flag goes out. Right now the gap between him and Milan Tekens is 6.3 seconds. And the next driver with the black flag, that's Christian van den Burg. Van den Burg passed Ajebout van Kruisen for 10th position. I think they hit each other ever so slightly. And that's enough for having too much incident points. And also Christian van den Burg has to go through a trip through the pit lane. And all we're going to do, one more lap. I think Alex O'Grady, he does have the advantage. I don't think. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful drift there from Alex O'Grady. Into the final corner he goes. The time is on 25, which means, oh my goodness, he almost loses the car. Beautifully done from Alex O'Grady. And there he goes with the full 360 and wins race number 1 before Milan Tekens. And we have to wait on Levi van Straten for the 3rd position. Oh my goodness, I thought Alex O'Grady was going to do a Sergio Perez. Luckily he didn't. And Levi van Straten on the 3rd position. Then we have to wait for Bram Veldhoen, because that's going to be the first of the Pro AM drivers. Through the last corner, there he goes. I take my hats off. Great job from Bram Veldhoen, who wins for the Pro AM class. And Christian van den Burg going into the pit lane, meaning he will lose a lot of lap times. And Cas Heinen, I think he actually has something, because he was fighting. And there he goes to 12th position. Meaning we have to wait for the last car, which is this driver, Joep Oldhoff. From the Netherlands. Oh! Jamie Takula losing the car in the final corner. And Joep Oldhoff is going to take P14. And Jamie Takula on the back. There he goes. Meaning we already have the first race. What an exciting race it was. Let's see how the standings are in this first race. There we have it. It's Alex O'Grady who wins race 1 for Milan Tekens on the 2nd position. And Levi van Straten on P3. That's the podium in the Pro category. Then we have Maciej Krolikowski on P4 and Roel van der Zand on P5. Then 6th position for Marco Kerkman and 7th position is for Ryan Cassidy. Agnes M on 8th and the first AM driver Bram Veldhoen, who wins there for his class, and Ajebout van Kruisen on P10. Then it's Cas Heinen on P11 and it's Grob on P12. And Joep Oldhoff just ever so slightly in the last corner overtook the stunning Jamie Takula, who finished in 14th. Then it's Burg on P15 and it's Ben de Boer on P16. And Jens Robuijs, unfortunately, the only driver who did not finish the race. So, which means we already had the first race. It also means we're going to have a small break before we go back for the second race here on the Hungaroring. We'll be seeing you right now. Welcome back to the Hungary for the second race of round 5. We are in the penultimate round of the Porsche Supercup by NXTGP. Yeah, that means next round will be the season finale. That will be at the end of August in Zandvoort, which is also going to be excited because, of course, Zandvoort, you never know what's going to be like with the rain, with the weather. A couple of years ago we saw it in Formula 1. And that, I think, still today, I think that was the best way to start a race. The moment the lights go on, the rain starts to fall. And in lap 1, it was complete chaos. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in iRacing, because also here you have all that rain that might even fall. The good news is there will be no rain. It's actually 23 degrees on the outside temperature, with a little bit cloudy here and there, but still a small breeze of 6 kilometers an hour. Which means it's going to be a perfect time and perfect day for racing here at NXTGP at the Hungary. And of course, when we are ready, that means also the cars are going slowly but steady on the grid. And this is how the grid looks like. It's going to be Ewout van Kruijsen from pole position and Bram Velmhoed next to him. Excuse me, almost Dutch there. And on third position we have Agus NM and Ryan Cassidy on fourth position. Marco Kerkman on 5th and Roel van der Zand on 6th position. And on 7th we have Maciej Krolikowski. And on 8th position it's Levi van Straten. Then we go to 9th position of Milan Tekens and Alex O'Grady from 10th position. Indeed, the top 10 will be reversed. Then it's Cas Heinen on the 11th position and Grob on number 12. Then we have P13 for Joep Olthoff and Jamie Tekoel on 14th. And we have the 15th position for Christian van der Burg. 16th is for Ben de Boer and Jens Gebuis on P17. And here we go. It's ready. It's ready for the lights. The lights are going on, and if they're all out, that means we are on the way for race number 2 of round 5. And immediately it's a good start from Ewout van Kruijsen and also Ryan Cassidy going really quickly from his starting position. As we go now into the first corner, let's see what's going to happen in the first corner. It's Ryan Cassidy on the outside of Ewout van Kruijsen, who's going to make it. Not of yet, and it's still Ewout van Kruijsen who's winner of the first corner. Let's see how the next corner is going. It's Agus NM and Roel van der Zand also in fight with each other. Agus NM actually has been pushing wide, and through goes Levi van Straten. An amazing job from Van Straten, now already on 6th position. Here left and right we do have the hits. No big crashes, no big off. As Roel van der Zand is the first driver who's been pushing wide there by Maciej Krolikowski. And it's actually Bram Velmhoed who has a very poor start. All the way back now to 10th position, but that's good enough for him because he's still first for the AM drivers. I think that was Eduard Grob who actually went a little bit too wide there. Now also with sound of the cars, excuse me for that. There is Agus NM fighting with Alex O'Grady. Look at that. We already said a poor start from Bram Velmhoed. An amazing start there from Alex O'Grady, who is already in 4th position. As Agus NM, oh, he hits the back of Levi van Straten, lost the car and is going back, but fell away to 10th position now. In fight with Cas Heinen. Heinen on the outside. Christian van der Burg also there. All three are pro drivers. It was just a small tap there for Agus NM, but more than enough to get some car in on balance. As we are now back in the front with Ewout van Kruijsen and Ryan Cassidy. Marco Kerkman on the 3rd position, but do watch out for Alex O'Grady. That's O'Grady as Cas Heinen. Alex M is still fighting. Oh, Alex M losing the back of the car, and he does hit. And who does he hit? I think it was Jens Gebuis. It was Eduard Grob who also lost positions. As it was Eduard Grob he hit. Oh, no. And we do see that. Look at that. It's a meatball flag for Eduard Grob. The car is too much damage. Man, do I love this latest update of our live timing program. We can see now that the damage was too big and Eduard Grob unfortunately lost it. As we have here again the replay, Eduard Grob. And that's great, losing the car and hit him fully in on his rear wheel. see the damage. The wheel is out of alignment. And unfortunately, it's all over. As we do have actually, there we go, Alex O'Grady in fight with Ryan Cassidy. Alex O'Grady already going to the inside. We did miss it, unfortunately. He already passed Marco Kerkman, and there is Alex O'Grady now on second position. Ryan Cassidy in his fight, but Marco Kerkman tries to bounce back. Doesn't make it stick, which means that now Milan Tekens can get the fight to Marco Kerkman. And here we have a beautiful fight between Tekens and Kerkman. Tekens is going to wait now, going on the outside line, trying to cross it back on the inside line. Try to get as full as I can, or as early as he can on the throttle. And here he goes, Milan Tekens. Can he do the overtake now on the inside? There he goes. Has to brake later now, has to brake later, but not too late. There he is on the inside, and does he make a stick? Yes, he does. Great move there from Milan Tekens. But can Marco Kerkman, can he get his revenge now? Has to do the same thing on the outside of the corner and chooses not to go for that. And here we have the fight between Ewout van Kruisen and Alex O'Grady. O'Grady on the outside. It's going to be a bold move to do that there. As Ewout van Kruisen is defending. Defends the inside line. Goes a little bit wide now there. And Alex O'Grady almost loses the back there, and it's Ryan Cassidy who actually passes there. O'Grady, now it's Tekens behind O'Grady, and O'Grady falls back to P4 again. And now he has to do it all over again in his fight. As Agus NM also has some damage and goes to the pit lane. Alex O'Grady tried to do the overtake. Maybe it was a little bit too much, a little bit too early, a little bit too aggressive. On the other hand, that's also what we love here at racing. Let's see what Alex O'Grady can do. As Eduard Grob goes into the pit exit, and also Agus NM. Both drivers are now out of the pit, and that also means that we have all 70 drivers still in competition. Milan Tekens going towards Ryan Cassidy. As we have, oh, that's Marco Kerkman. Marco Kerkman went wide. Had a little moment there. Falls all the way back to the 11th position. Let's see what happened there. I think it was with Levi van Straten. Yes, we do see Levi van Straten with the Esmea Porsche. Oh, brakes a little bit too late. Oh my goodness. Fully hits Marco Kerkman. And that's why Marco Kerkman span. Van Straten back to P8. Kerkman back to P11. Let's go back to the fight in the front, because it's Milan Tekens who closed the gap between him and Ryan Cassidy. But also Milan Tekens cannot get in any mistakes, because then it will be Alex O'Grady who will do the overtake. And don't forget, this is the fight for actually pole position for P1. But in the purple and yellow car, that's the car of Ewout van Kruisen. Here we go, Agus NM. Good job from him. Oh, please, please do brake, do brake, do brake, do brake. Oh, no, 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 no! Agus NM, what the hell are you doing, man? He takes out Milan Tekens. I'm sure the stewards are going to think something of that. Agus NM, but let's see it in the replay. I thought he was looking in his mirrors. And suddenly he just steered on the right and hit Milan Tekens. Which means the fight for 4 cars is now back to a fight for 3 cars, as Alex O'Grady is going to do the overtake on Ryan Cassidy. An amazing job there from Alex O'Grady. Alex O'Grady once more. He already wants to fight with Ewout van Kruisen. First time he did that in this sector, it went all wrong. Again, on the outside, Ewan van Kruijsen going to the defending line. For Kruijsen, again on the inside line. You're not going to tell me there's going to be a carbon copy? No, it's not going to be a carbon copy of what happened a couple of laps ago. Oh, look at that, Van Kruijsen defending with his life, actually. And Ryan Cassidy says, yeah, right, guys. If we hit each other, fine by me. As we also had a crash between Christian van den Burg and Cas Heijn. Let's see what happened there. Was it a small hit or was it a little bit of a bigger hit? Here we see Christian van den Burg in the Canada car. Oh, it's just a small hit, but just enough. And look at this. That's raceman. That's craftsmanship. Good job there from Christian van den Burg. Let's go back to the fight on the front of the pack. Alex O'Grady trying on the outside, trying different lines. See if he takes here the inside line. He does take the inside line. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Alex O'Grady losing out now a little bit on Ewan van Kruijsen, but the gap is under 0.2 of a second. O'Grady, who's going into the outside, has to do it on the long way around. And Ewan van Kruijsen breaks late as possible. And Ryan Cassidy says, alright, thank you very much. You guys go ahead, knock each other out. I'll be taking P1 then. Alex O'Grady now on the outside, and there he goes on the outside. A great move from Alex O'Grady. And now it's Ryan Cassidy's turn, as we have notifications of Jens Gebuijs with some issues. Back on track, let's go back to the fight in the front. Ryan Cassidy, where is he going to do it? As Alex O'Grady, the winner of race 1, also now on the first position of the second race. There are a couple of fights left and right on the track. There's also a fight between Bram Veldhoen and Levi van Straten. That's for a different category. And there's also a fight between Cas Heijnen and Christian van den Burg. We'll be going to watch that any moment now. But first, let's see what's going to happen with the fight between P2. Between Ewout van Kruijsen and Ryan Cassidy. As we're going to take the helicopter cam. Also different lines from Ryan Cassidy. Yes, I think that is actually Eduard Grob, who's obeying the blue flags. The gap is a little bit too big for Ryan Cassidy to actually go for the overtake. Different lines there. Looks like the exit of Ewout van Kruijsen was just a little bit better than that of Ryan Cassidy. If they do fight with each other, and the fight is going to be a quite heavy one. Look at Maciej Krolitkowski, don't forget that name. Because he's not there quite, the gap is not that big. And this is what I meant. This is the fight what I meant. It's going to be a heavy fight. And there is the car of Maciej Krolitkowski. Here he goes, Ryan Cassidy. Marco Kerkman has a black flag, which means he has to do a pit lane. That's a very big shame for Marco Kerkman. Too many incident points. Yeah, that means he has to do a trip through the pit lane. That's a black box behind his name. There is Maciej Krolitkowski. He is already entered the fight between Ewout van Kruijsen and Ryan Cassidy, which means it's going to be a fight between 3 drivers for the second position. As we are nearing the halfway point of the second race, it's Ryan Cassidy who's braking late, who's braking way too late. And Maciej Krolikowski is going to take P3, locking up the fronts of Ryan Cassidy. Which means now Ryan Cassidy fell off the podium, and it's now all up to Maciej Krolikowski to get that second position. Because they both are quicker than Ewout van Kruijsen. Ewout van Kruijsen is actually doing everything right, defending with his life right now. And what beautiful it is to say that we have such a great fight for the second position. Yes, it's already Alex O'Grady who checked out almost 5 seconds away from this pack. And don't forget, if they really are going to fight heavily, look at that in the back. It's the light blue and orange car of Roel van der Zand. It's the car of Levi van Straten, who are also slowly but steady going towards this group. Here we are on the back bumper of Ewout van Kruijsen. And there we have the Porsche of Maciej Krolikowski is going to do it. On the inside, great overtake by Krolikowski. And there also comes Ryan Cassidy. They do hit each other. I also think that Krolikowski actually hit Ewout van Kruijsen. Let's see if we can watch that back for the replay. We are back at the replay. Maciej Krolikowski on the inside. Did they collide? Yes, they did collide. And the hit between Van Kruijsen and Cassidy was quite a heavy one. As we're back on the live TV. And that's not only going to be that. Look at that. It's the car of Roel van der Zand and also Levi van Straten who entered this fight. Which means it's going to be a fight between P1, P2, excuse me, P3, P4, P5 and P number 6. Because I can quite imagine that Ewout van Kruijsen does not want to get pushed around. As we only have 10 minutes left in this race, which is a very exciting one actually. I love this track to race. On board now with Ryan Cassidy. Also the dashboard. See the gears and also the speed. Who's going now over 200 kilometers an hour. Ryan Cassidy slowly but steady. Going towards the back of Ewout van Kruijsen. Different line here. A little bit of oversteering. Tries to get a good exit. Yeah, not a little bit, not the best exit, let's say. Last lap from Alex O'Grady, a 1:47.02. That's 1.2 seconds quicker than Krolikowski, Van Kruijsen, Cassidy, Van der Zand en Van Straten. Here we have a fight between Christian van den Burg and Cas Heijnen. That's a fight for 8th position. We had a small issue for Jens Gebuijs, no biggie. Still back on track. Let's go back to the fight. In front again between Maciej Krolikowski, the fight for 2nd position, which I think is early going to be a fight for 3rd position, because it's Ryan Cassidy who's closing in again on Ewout van Kruijsen. Where can he do it? I think he has to wait for turn 1. Line the car up now. Let's see in the last couple of laps how it's going to do. Still on the waiting, still on waiting. As Mark Gertman passes Joep Oldhoff. that's Ben de Boer. Ben de Boer lost the rear of the car, unfortunately. And Ryan Cassidy brakes late again. Ah, it does hit Ewald van Kruisen. No. They do hit each other, and that's Roel van der Zand, who's now in fight with Maciej Królikowski. That's what you get if it's so close. Excuse me, Roel van der Zand not fighting with Maciej Królikowski. It's Levi van Straten fighting with Roel van der Zand. And that's now a fight for a podium. Again, it was Ryan Cassidy, and look behind his name, it's a black flag. Also a black flag for Joep Holthoff. That doesn't mean they're disqualified, but it does mean for Ryan Cassidy that he has to go through the pit lane and serve what I think is a 10-second stop and go penalty. Same goes for Joep Holthoff, meaning this is now the fight for third position between Roel van der Zand and Levi van Straten. As we have just over 5 minutes to go. What an amazing race this has been here at the Hungaroring. As I said before, it's a lovely track. It's a track where you can overtake. It's a track where if you do hit, you can get back. But you do need a slipstream partner, actually. Alex O'Grady still in first position. The gap now between him and Maciej Królikowski is 10.5 seconds. Behind Królikowski, it's Roel van der Zand and Levi van Straten. That's the fight we're watching right now on your TV. As we have 5 minutes to go in this competition. In the penultimate lap of the Porsche Supercup by NXTGP. Or NXTGP for our English watchers. Let's see what Levi van Straten can do. He doesn't have all the time of the world anymore. As Ryan Cassidy goes now into the pit lane to serve his penalty. Same has to be said from Joep Holthoff. There he is, also serving his penalty. Like Roel van der Zand has a little bit of breathing space now. Yes, he does. Still, he can't afford making any mistakes. Also, Joep Holthoff now into the pit lane. I think it was drive-through penalty. No, it's not. It's 10-second stop-and-go penalty. So a fight here, but still between Christian van den Burg and Cas Heijnen. At the end of the race, I don't think Cas Heijnen can see the name of Christian van den Burg ever again, or a Canadian flag for that matters. Levi van Straten has closed the gap between him and Roel van der Zand. Van der Zand taking the wider line, Van Straten taking more of the inside line. Let's see, the gap between them is around 0.2 of a second, meaning the slipstream will be very effective into turn number 1. Is Levi van Straten going to do it, or is he going to wait? Van Straten is going to wait. Into turn number 3. Again, Levi van Straten, a different line from Roel van der Zand. As Cas Heijnen and Christian van den Burg are still fighting with each other. They do leave a little bit of space, and it's Christian van den Burg still in front of Cas Heijnen. Surely Heijnen is going to find a position somewhere in his fight for 7th position. Both driving for the Pro Championship. Also especially mentioning, of course, Bram Veldhoen in the Pro AM Championship. On a great 6th position for him. Let's go back between the fight between Levi van Straten and Roel van der Zand. They do not have that many laps actually left. Van Straten on the outside line, trying to cross on the inside line, trying to get as early as he can the out of the car straight. Going on the outside line again, a little bit of understeer there. And the gap is now very big, actually very big in terms of how it was before. There's still a gap under 0.5 of a second. Here we go again. 148. Yeah, this might be actually the last lap. As we have another issue for Bente Boer. Bente Boer, oh, did she hit the barriers there? Let's see what happened. This is going into turn 3. Going into turn 4. Oh, she lost the rear of the car. She lost the rear of the car. Yes, she did. And did she hit the barriers? Ever so slightly. That's a good thing for the sponsors. Not good for the position, of course, on the track. As Roel van der Zand is out. What happened with Roel van der Zand? Did he have a connection issue? Because it's Levi van Straten now in 3rd position and Roel van der Zand is out. I think, yeah, I don't see any issues, because, or at least a crash, meaning that Roel van der Zand had internet connection issues, and that's disastrous for him. Which means that P3 will go to Levi van Straten. As we go to Alex O'Grady in the last couple of laps, the clock hits 25, meaning that it is the final lap. Does Alex O'Grady scare me again with a, let's say, weird way to end the last corner? Yes, he does indeed. Here he goes again. Is he going for a 360? That's going to be a little bit easier now for him. Still, Alex O'Grady wins also the second race. As we go to Maciej Krolikowski going for 3rd position. Great job from Krolikowski. And in the back, it's Levi van Straten on 3rd position. And then let's wait for Bram Veldhoen. There he goes. He won the Pro AM in the first race. He's going to do it again in the second race. Great job there. And then it's waiting for Jens Gebuys. And Jamie Takula. Great job also from Jamie Takula, who's also getting a P3 in the Pro AM division. First, it's Jens Gebuys. Let's wait for Jamie Takula. There he is into the second to last corner. And there he is over the finish line. It's Jamie Takula finishing P3 in the Pro AM division. Meaning we have all the cars now on over the finish line. Also meaning we're going to the results of the second race of today. Let's see how the results are. There we have them. It's Alex O'Grady for the Pro Championship who wins the race. Doing great job for the Drivers' Championship for him. And Maciej Krolikowski on the second position. Third place is for Levi van Straten and Ewout van Kruisen on P4. And the 5th position is for the man who's driving in the Pro AM division. So becoming first in the Pro AM division, it's Bram Veldhoen. Then on the 6th position we have Christian van den Burg. And the 7th position is Cas Heijnen. Then on the 8th position we have Ryan Cassidy. And the 9th position is for Marco Kerkman. Then on the 10th position it's Jens Gebuys and Jamie Takula. We find him back on the 11th position. Roel van der Zand on P12 with the issues, which I think was a connection issue. And Bente Boer on the 13th position. Then on P14 it's Joep Oldhoff. And behind them on the 15th position it's Eduard Grob. And 16th position is for Milan Tekens and Eggers NN. I think he has something explaining to do actually against the stewards for unfortunately hitting Milan Tekens. So that was it for the 5th round of the Porsche Supercup by NXTGP. What an amazing race it was. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly do. And I certainly did. I really enjoyed this game and also this match here. We have to wait just a little bit, because on August the 26th, then we will be back for the season finale at Zandvoort. Make sure you mark that date in your calendars, because that's also will be when the weekend where the Formula 1, of course, will be driving, and also in real life, the Porsche Supercup. So we'll be seeing you then in Zandvoort. From here, from the Hungaroring, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time at the NXTGP Porsche Supercup.